Whoa, we were back for some Bleach Soul Resonance. And a recent comment I got while doing a just sort of breakdown of Kenpachi versus Bankai Ichigo with White Ichigo and my expectations for the White Ichigo release. I said that you needed to go into the third slash of Kenpachi, and someone pointed out actually that after the first slash, if you wait for the flash, you can swap out immediately. And I didn't know this, so I just wanted to test this real quick. So, right there? Oh my god. It's crazy. Shout out that commenter. I did not know that, hand to god. For the entire time I've been using this character, I have been doing, you know, what I assume is like the norm for a lot of you guys, which is this into this and then like that. That's been my go-to. So we'll be trying to incorporate that in the video, but I want to start off by just giving that person, if they're watching, a shout out, because that is good looking out. This character, like I said, I expect White Ichigo to not be very off field, because he is a half anniversary, essentially, like, you know, quote unquote anniversary character like Grimjo. I expect him to dominate the field a bit like Nelel and Aizen, because why wouldn't you want to dominate the field with your half anniversary character? So I think people are kind of like, oh, you know, Kenpachi, how's he gonna do? I think Kenpachi has the highest chance of, one, he's gonna get buffed. We already know that, they told us that. And two, I think he has the highest chance of being a jack of all trades character that just works perfectly with White Ichigo. Whereas Bankai Ichigo is going to need buffs, and also we don't know how his playstyle will interact with White Ichigo. So I will say though, you know, barring that, I said this before and people were like, well, you need to wait to see if Bankai Ichigo gets buffed. The reason I said, if you're re-rolling, if you're a new player, the reason you take Bankai Ichigo is because Kenpachi isn't here. And you're going to pull for Alkiata, so you're going to replace Toshido anyway. So if you're someone who's like, no, just wait, because you could get Toshido instead, it's like, why would you do that? Because either way, you're going to end up having White Ichigo with a Bankai Ichigo ready to go, which is better than having White Ichigo with literally no limited or standard, like, free-to-play SSR period. So you'd rather have two characters that fill out teams rather than no DPS slash DPS at all. But that's just me. So I do think that Bankai Ichigo is still the take if you're creating a new account, if you're starting fresh. Either way, though, we're doing the Frenzy Feast here. Yesterday, we left off on some pretty tough finishes. The Olkieta has a billion HP, and Grimjo, my spirit team, just is not enough. So we sort of pittered out. But I'm pretty confident going into Thrust, and I'm not so sure going into Slash. But we will see. We will see. I'm not going to put us through the entire thing of like going down all 5 fights this time. The reason I did it with Grimjo is because he's new. I wanted to get a feel for the rotations, but we will just go straight into fight 5 for Yami and for Noitada. So I will be back when we are at those fights. Well. So I'm coming back, and I actually could not get through stage 4 of this event with the team I was using, which is Byakuya, Kenpachi, and Yudahara here. The reason, I mean, just not having that big chunk of damage for my tactics character. I mean, I could have, I don't know, I could have swapped around some things, but realistically speaking, just Byakuya is just not that good. He makes rotations a little clunky. I mean, the rotations were going off fine. I could raise him to 100, but I mean, at that point, it's just so much. He is like B3 as well, but it's a lot of resources, and I just don't want to commit those. Like I say all the time, even though I use the monthly, I'm maintaining a pretty free-to-play like style of using this account. There's no extra money coming from anywhere. There's no extra resources coming from anywhere. In particular, a lot of the resources just funnel back into building B0, B1, B2 characters. So yeah, I mean, I think that's where we stop for the Yami phase. Thankfully, I get to absolve myself here and use the goats instead. We will be using Rangiku, who is plenty strong here, and we'll come back for that. But yeah, wasn't able to really get it done on the Slash team. That I cannot wait to replace Byakuya with White Ichigo. White Ichigo is going to be a godsend. But yeah, as far as rotation, I'm just going to talk a little bit. As far as rotations and the like, I really didn't feel like the rotations were bad. It's just that it's just pure damage. It's just pure damage. Maybe if I had B2 Kenpachi, maybe if, you know, that would be enough to sort of tip it over the edge. B2 Kenpachi is extremely strong. In this case, I do have a B2 Yoruichi, of course, or Nelel, of course. Sorry, I got, as we all do, really, from time to time. I had Yoruichi on the brain. But yeah, I do have the B2 Nelel, which should help quite a bit in packing up old boy. Whereas before, I think there is definitely sort of a very obvious sort of elephant in the room, right? I don't think we have to be too kind about that one. So we will see how this one does. Though we do not have the Mayuri. I did decide to use Mayuri on the first team. The reason I use Mayuri on the first team is quite simple. I wanted to maximize Grimjo looking the best because he is the new character. That sort of is what it is. Also, having a B2 Nelel, having a B2 tactics character will usually be enough to sort of set teams over the edge, because the tactic characters just end up having such powerful dupes compared to every other type of character in the game. So that is sort of my rationale. One thing I would say though is that, of course, Nella still does suffer a bit from... Ooh, nice opening. Nella does still suffer a bit from issues she's had before, which is you do got to do 2 rotations to get her ultimate, or 2 like basic attack rotation to get her ultimate. At least in my case, maybe other people have like more ult charge or what have you, and it's not as bad, but that has just been my case, or my experience so far. And we're gonna keep her in here just to get the second point. We'll do one more, and now we'll go. And yeah, so I mean, there's really nothing to say as far as Nella's damage. She just does so much of it. The synergy as well with Rangiku is extremely solid. There really isn't like a necessity there. I could have ulted, but I knew the Impale would kill. So we go again. We're doing it live. When I do it live, my rotations tend to suffer because I'm coming up with things to talk about. Sometimes I'm not really talking about the game either. So, or I'm not talking about exactly what's going on in the game, so it does suffer. But yeah, we're just gonna go through here. I didn't really plan to like do live commentary for all of these fights, but I figure it's gonna be not too long to get to the 5th fight, just because this is like a powerful team here. Like, not... Oh, he didn't do his... He's not doing his usual like run through. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, I wanted to get this one attack off. There we go. He didn't use his usual sequence, so we didn't get the counter attack early. Don't crit there, I don't believe, so that's pretty unfortunate. Actually, we probably did crit there, but his armor tanked it, huh? And we're gonna do exactly the same as before, go into this, but this time we're actually going to take a second to swap out into this, and that'll give us a little bit more bonus time in the bonus. I want to go into this and then go into Lance. There we go. Get that buff up, get that buff working. We didn't have them up, so why not just do that? We'll get some attacks in, and again, business as usual. Like I said, Nellel is pretty simple in her run through, what she's up to, just sort of creating these gaps for Seto and her swap outs. We did misplay there though, if you saw that. We did misplay, we didn't get the Seto up before we counterattacked, but it's not a huge deal either. I mean, we were probably going to go down on time anyway, but I knew we'd kill, so we continue marching forward. My early impressions though are, yeah, it's just gonna take people a lot more time to iron out Grimjo. I think he's just a little hard. And we're not really used to... I was scratching my face. I didn't even have my hand on the controller. He's just a little hard. I think it's going to take time for people to sort of iron out that reality. Because I don't know. Gacha games typically are not, super difficult games to play, I'm actually just going to go into ult here, and then we're going to technique when we have the 80% up. But gacha games aren't usually super hard to play. It's not really that big of a deal, but... it's usually, it feels like, you know, anyone can cook sort of deal, and I just think Grimjo is asking a bit more from the average person than maybe they're willing to, you know, put in. And perfect. And we're just gonna get two. Oh no, I misclicked. Never mind. It's a American reset. We're gonna get all these in and then go here. We'll do this. We'll actually go out into her, and then we'll go out into this, and we'll get another Seto here. But yeah, I think Grimjo's just asking a little more than the average person is like willing to sort of bear. And while I don't think there's like anything wrong with that inherently or anything, I do think that sort of putting that on Grimjo is like not really fair is what's happening. At least to me, that's in my opinion. I think we're putting a lot of the onus on like, why isn't Grimjo good enough, and we're not really like thinking about it. But you know, that's neither here or there, I suppose. We're gonna try to get ults before, yes. Same thing as before. We're gonna go do the goat here. And will that be enough? We do get enough, so now we can do this. And we can go out into her. So our rotations are looking pretty good here. I think this is like pretty, you know, where I want my rotations to look like when it comes to the thrust team. Obviously, again, we're not doing as much as we would be if we had Mayuri backing us, but that is going to happen when we sort of need, you know, multiple characters to do these missions. I kept pressing, you know, hey, you know, it's going to come a time where you like need these characters, and it's not going to be, you know, you just use one team for every single thing. And it's not that people like resist that fact. It's just, I want to make it clear that you are going to need more characters. It's not just always going to be just run Mayuri on everything, just run Yutahara on everything, because we're sort of seeing it. Like, the teams will start to suffer as the content gets like more difficult. That's the nature of power creep, right? We've been living in a halcyonic world where power creep has been very low, and even still, I would say that power creep is pretty low within the, you know, total framework of Bleach Soul Resonance. But I do think we are sort of approaching terminal velocity in that way, which is to say that we're getting real. Sometimes Gin has this like bug where it says that his technique is up, but it's not actually up, and I don't know why that happens. But I got tricked there because I thought I saw that his technique was ready to go. Very odd. But yeah, we're reaching terminal velocity where we're sort of starting to like free fall into characters actually, you know, needing these teams to clear content. And I mean, you can see in the most free-to-play sense that where it's not exactly free anymore. It's not exactly like, oh, you just do whatever you want all the time and, you know, everything works out. Like, we need these characters, man. We need these characters to be present. And my controller disconnected. No, what are you talking about? No. All right, you know what, dude? Maybe the game's bad. Maybe everything's bad. Maybe we'll never be happy anymore. Maybe we'll never have another happy day in our lives. Why did that happen? I don't even understand. I heard it like disconnecting sort of while I was talking, but I was like, it's fine. It'll just work out. That's so sad. Last but not least, we'll be going to stage 5. But yeah, I mean, I hope this is like becoming apparent that we actually do need these characters for more than just like weekly frenzy feast anymore. Like we have maximized the potential of like our accounts in a lot of ways, and we're approaching sort of like the end of just like just do what you want all the time, and it's taking a toll, right? It really is. It's where we're seeing what happens when it's no longer just like, ooh, 480,000 there. It's no longer just like, oh, you know, just run Yutahara and Mayuri every single chance you get, and you know, there's no other reason to have any other characters, and you don't need to pull anyone because you just use Mayuri. And I tried to get a swap counter there, but sadly, we just couldn't get it. But what's going on here? Yeah. I don't know though. I don't know. We'll eventually see what that bears when we start replacing characters, which is going to be a big deal. Like we are fast approaching as well the sort of end of just having one set of elements, which is going to be really exciting because I do want to see what they do with that like framework. Like it could go a bunch of ways, but I mean, who would be the first team to really get replaced as like a... I mean, probably Gin. I mean, I predicted this at the very start of, you know, the game's life, but I think Yamamoto will end up being the replacement for the Thrust team. It makes the most sense to me. And with that in mind, I think we'll just get like, you know, we'll have 2 Thrust teams, but Gin will be strong still. And because Gin will still be like strong, I mean, he's not going to go away or anything. It does leave me wondering, like, you know, what will that make of him? And I think that's going to mean that we're going to get like multiple forms of like the content, essentially, where instead of having, you know, just Thrust, you know, one of each element in this case, we're going to start getting that, you know, maybe doubling up on elements. And I think that's coming sooner rather than later, now that we've sort of seen how the teams are expounding and expanding and such. But I mean, we'll see. For now, the rotations are going fine, but I mean, it just comes down to damage, right? It's really hard to break Noitada's armor, and again, it's just gonna come down to like how much you have in the tank. I mean, I could have brought my Yuri here, like I said before, but we just don't have enough characters. How many characters like do you really expect us to have like for each team? Definitely the first time I've seen free-to-play really get some stopping power in, though. I mean, for like the free-to-plays are working, dude. We're like we gotta like really you know, hunker down here, because this is not lightweight content anymore. This is like meaningful big damage, you know, perfect rotations, like everything has to be up, etc, etc. Like I don't know. We finally did get the break, which means this is our window to do any amount of damage at all to this guy. We did waste our counterattack. I meant to, if you're wondering why I did that, I meant to actually like swap out and get a cheeky, like essentially a full string with Noitada, or a full string with Nellel, and then go into Gin and then swap back in and get another full string and go into counter. But we just missed again. Like I said, like those are the situations that are gonna really cost you when it comes to the current content for free-to-plays. Is just like, how clean are you really? We do get one more go around, and we're actually going to try to get this and then go in here, which is fine. But, you know, Rangiku showing up big time because, as I've always said, Rangiku is going to continue to be pretty useful in the media because she just has like a sort of evergreen style of kit. Like, I really do like that character. I like that character a lot. It does feel bad for the people who have sort of missed her. I'm just gonna ult out immediately because we just need to try to get as many of these ults as possible, just going back and forth. We can't really afford to like use a bunch of time up. Perfect. We can go here. I mean, maybe we'll get one more break and that'll give us a slight bit more. I mean, we're definitely not killing him, like I've always said. We're like definitely not killing him. We didn't even get the counter there, just too much time. But go here, go into this. I think we'll get one more Nellel ult, which I mean is nice, but that'll probably do us in the immediate. Yeah, these fights are some anime accurate ass fights, dude. We are not getting them down. And we're gonna go into her first, and then we'll go into him, and then we'll get Lance, and we'll just see what we end up at. But as you saw, I mean, the only team I got that got this close is of course the Grimjo team, and that's just like sort of testament to how powerful Grimjo is, how powerful Mayuri is, and how synergistic that team sort of works. I cannot wait for Strike to get an official support, though. I will say, like, as good as Mayuri is on that team, like, once we get a real Strike support that's actually, you know, giving the characters exactly what they need and not just sort of like a simulacrum of what they have. Like, it's gonna be really nice. But 1700 to cap off, and that, yeah, we'll see. We'll just see how we do. We're in the top 5% with that score. Like, that's crazy. It's kind of nuts to me. It blows my mind a little bit. Yeah, I guess 100,000 is about where people, I mean, how did everyone do? 6.1% on the Olkieta. Doesn't surprise me. I mean, a lot of people blew their Mayuri here. It might have been smart to bring out Kisuke Yurahara for this. Someone here has got a Aizen. I mean, yeah, B6. Yeah, has to be. Then we go to Grimjo. I mean, look at that. I mean, the top 100 has a B6 character in it. That just shows how, like, this is going to be difficult to sort of place. B6 Grimjo. B6 Grimjo is only top 100? No offense to Saul. Yeah, this is a whale's paradise, huh? 5 and 6 here, yeah. Grimjo, top 43%, which is, like, nothing. I just did not have the team for this. In the future, I mean, maybe I would have wanted to go double support Aizen, but I don't have an Aizen who can solo DPS. Top 6%, and I didn't even get to the 5th. I mean, how disparate rather. Top 6%, and I did not even clear. I did not even get to the 5th fight. I mean, essentially no one did. 22,000 here, and that's a B6 Kenpachi. And then top 24%. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a strong, you know, area. People are going to have Gin. People are going to have Mayuri if they want them. So we can see that a lot of people save their Mayuri here. I still got 21,000, which isn't so bad. But Nell and Gin are going to be like a strong one. But I mean, god damn, man. What an ass beating. What an ass beating. So there are my runs. If you haven't been able to complete, hopefully this makes you feel less bad. I mean, I say before, sometimes I'll say, like, you know, this is a free-to-play channel. And you could bring up, well, you use the monthly. But it's like, yeah, I use the monthly so I can do showcases. I don't use the monthly so I can, like, you know, it's not like, it doesn't fix this, you know what I mean? It doesn't like magically make me, you know, the lord of scoring among the whales, right? This should be a very clear sign that, like, that monthly is not like dolphining or whaling, or, I mean, it's not even really low spending, right? But yeah, there you go. Top 5%, a lot off the back of just like good rotations on Grimjo, I feel like. But we can, like, recap just a little bit. So Nell, of course, is a character I went pretty hard on. She's probably the only character I've really gone hard on. We gave her everything. She has pretty good gear overall. I mean, this piece is lacking behind. This piece is really good. Again, slacking behind on the HP. But, you know, this piece right here is also pretty good. Beyond that, though, she is a character who has like all of my core stamps. That's the thing about Nell for me, is she has like all of my core stamp keys, and it's because she is an actual like event character. She's an actual like celebration character. So I decided to just give her the keys. Like, I went pretty hard. So she's nearly 50,000. Mayuri, of course, I went over. Kenpachi's 38,000. He has one here, and then he has one boundary here, which is pretty nice. I mean, this makes his rotations really smooth. If I had this, I think like my Kenpachi would just go up and up and up. And maybe when he reruns with, maybe if he reruns with White Ichigo, which I do expect him to do. Sorry, I exited out of there. I'll grab another dupe. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I got lucky with his dupe. I literally spent tickets, I think, and I just hit. So that was just like a lucky one. Kisuke Yurahara does not have his boundary 2. I actually went back. You can see I have 10 tickets here, and it's because I spent my standard tickets. So this is one of the arguments for spending your standard tickets, is that you'll get dupes of things you already have, which allows you to, you know, advance ticket exchange. So I had about 400 of these from that, and I just spent them down and got 10 tickets. We are coming up on the halfway point of getting our refresh for our monthlies, which is going to be nice. So, you know, we'll be able to grab those. But maybe to end off the video, we'll do a quick 10 pull, because we do have these tickets. I was saving them. So let's see. It'd be pretty sick. Oh, imagine though. Like, would you have gotten hype? I would have gotten hype. I maybe would have shouted. I'm not gonna lie. I do want to wait until White Ichigo gets revealed. So hopefully we can get a reveal of his boundaries or his or a leak of his boundaries just before I commit to anything Grimjo. But I do think with this boundary 1, Grimjo will look much better. Even though I already think he's extremely strong. You know, controversial as that may seem, I just think he's hard. So last but not least, like I said, we have the boundary 3. Byakuya, his gear is like just serviceable. It's not really great. It's not really good, but it is like fine. We're not going to give him any more. That's sorry. Like that's just how it goes. Like I can't really afford to dole out for Byakuya at this current time, but yeah, that was our anime accurate Frenzy Feast. And I mean, all things considered, where are we for this one? I mean, I autoed this one, so we're not doing super well. We're top 23% for this one. And in this one, we're top 4%, it said? 4.3%? So, hey, I guess in the anime accurate battle, we managed to put up a damn fight. So, yeah, with all that being said, I've been Lone. Like if you like the video, subscribe to the club, we all go make it, and peace.